Okay, I wanted to just show you what I got going on here. I don't know where to start, I guess anywhere. You can see where this was split, completely split. You know, you get cracks, and this is cracked all the way up and down. And then like this here, you know, it doesn't go all the way up, but it just stops kind of here. And I think that's just surface cracking. I don't think it's actually the fiberglass itself underneath. It's just stress cracks in the paint. And I was going to drill holes at the end of each one of these. That's what I don't know. And that's kind of what I want to know, is if that's what you're supposed to do. You drill like a small hole at the end of every one of these cracks, not up here. And what I did is I used CA to tack it like here and like here to hold it together. Then I tried blue painter's tape, and that blue tape wasn't strong enough to hold it, so I just used clear packing tape. And then this is the same crack, and see, this here goes down, but then it goes over, and I just kind of, it's really thin, it's almost paper thin, real close to the crack, and I sanded all that out, and it goes down and around. But if you look here, it stops, and you don't see this hook. Now, am I supposed to go and, like, when I do I'll do the inside, that's what I got it ready for. I got it ready to do the inside, lay it up, what, 2 pieces? Like one piece going one way and then one at like a 45-degree angle. Now, do I have to go and grind all this out where that hook is, and then put like a drill hole or something behind that? That's that one. And then like this one here, we'll say it's number 2. This piece, this little piece, is completely busted out of it. You know, it's like, you can see my finger, it's about the width of my finger. Actually, it's smaller than the width of my thumb, but my thumbs are pretty big. And I glued that back in with thin CA, and it's kind of hard to see, but there's like a you know, the crack goes down to here. I'll have to drill a hole. And then there's a crack that goes down here. It's like you can see, actually you can see it now. You can see where it goes here, and then it goes over and down. So like I drill a hole here, and then over here. And on the inside, under here, like the behind this, it's a radiused corner. And I got that all sanded out, and this is paper thin in here where I sanded. So I'll lay it up on the inside, and once that cures, what, 2 layers, then I'll go and I'll sand this area down, and I could you know, and then lay it up. But my question is what do you do about, I mean, this isn't like these little, I don't know what you call them, radius corners and steps. I mean, you go and you just kind of grind that little area down and then just relay it up over the top of that? Or can I just do it on the inside, build it up heavy or something with like 3 layers underneath in there, and then just fill this in with something? Or how do you do that spot? And then the other damaged area, which I haven't prepped yet, is under here, which this is just the center seam. And I was thinking about moving the landing gear forward, so I was going to cut these out anyways. But this area here, you can see there's cracks here, and you know, what do you do with this big area? You know, it's all, I mean, if you push on it, I don't want to do it. You can see where I can push in on it here, but this is all just like messed up. What do I do? The same thing as what I did up here. Just kind of like tape it and tack it back into place just to hold it while I do the inside. Laying it up there. And then there's the spots over here, which it's just cracked. Now I can't get behind this whole piece, that gray piece. That's a piece of fiberglass, and it's glued or epoxied in with something. And that's my other question: is what? Let's see if I can get it where you can really see it. that, see like where that metal, that brass peg or whatever the hell it is, and then see below it how it's glued in underneath? Is that, what is that white stuff? Is that just resin mixed with like microbloons, which I got coming, or is that some other kind of a glue? Or some videos call it spackle, I think. That was in the UK video. I don't know what in the hell, but that's what this whole piece is glued on. See, I took an X-Acto knife. I'll turn it around here. You can see this here piece. The same. There's the same piece on this side, which is in the house, and it's in good condition. I mean, it broke off back there, but that's not really. It's not really structural. A little bit. It kind of holds this from flexing. But I took an X-Acto knife from like here to here, and had to cut it, and it was just hard as hell. And that's what the brand. And then from here to here, it was ripped open. But it was really, it's really tough stuff. And what is that stuff? What do you call that stuff? Or is that, or can I just glue that, say, literally like epoxy it back on with just the resin and microbloons, or? And the other question I have is this area. See how it's, there's, well, anyways, there's a fiberglass rod from like this hole, and it kind of holds these in place. Well, when it crashed, it pushed, it flexed the whole thing this way, and it pushed the rod through. And there's a, behind this, where the wing goes on, there's a thin piece of light ply. But they drilled a hole right through the light ply, so that's why it popped through. Otherwise, if that light ply would have been in there, you know, it would have been more of a composite with all this, and it probably wouldn't have pushed through like that. But anyways, it pushed through, and then I had to, and the hole's a little bit bigger because I ground it out with a Dremel tool to get that fiberglass rod out of there. You can see where this is like busted up. This area here, you know, it's cracked. It's, let's see if you can see that crack. You can see how it's cracked. Now, how do you fix that? You got to go and, like, say, grind all that out of there and then build that up. But that's what I don't understand, how to build that back up to make it so it's just like it was before. Because these two, well, on the wing, these carbon spars, you know, each side of the wing has a carbon spar, and they go, you know, they go in there side by side. And if it's not real loose, but it's not, but it's fairly tight. But how do you build that back up? Then the other question is the wing. Now, everything on this wing, you could fly it just the way it is. It's not really structural. It's this carbon spar goes all the way to the end, and then there's another end piece that goes on another 3 or 4 feet down, and them pieces are fine. This is, but anyways, that goes all the way through, and it's very, very tough. I mean, you can't even flex it. But what happened is in the crash, and I'll set this back up, you can see some damage over here, but that's just you know, the fuselage like flexed in, you know, it like pushed it in this way. This side's actually fine. This side got pushed in, you know, it squished it. So, but all inside of there is fine, except for it did break this, but that's not a big deal to fix. But anyways, you know, you have your wing, and it hit out on the tip, and it pushed, you know, it pushed this in. It's like, you know, back over here, you know, this whole thing went in like this, and it buckled it like this, you know, enough to crack that, and you can't get to that. Up here, you cannot get to the inside of that, and it's also cracked down here, and it's like dented in there. But you know, the rest of the wing is fine, and you could fly it the way it is because it's still tough as nails. And I would like to know, like you can see where this is actually, it's like this is pushed down. This is where it's supposed to be on that, and this is pushed down. Now, how do you get that? Do you just sand this down and then just build this back up, or do you pop this up somehow and then lay up over it, or And then like, what about this crack? Do I just grind this kind of out and feather it out and then just lay up a piece or two over that? And that's what I want to know. Thanks, bye.